I've always wondered why, when I go to a wedding or a club or someplace with a dance floor, I see so many men standing along the sidelines. Meanwhile, women will just dance. They'll dance with their friends, they'll dance with other women, they'll dance without seeming terribly concerned about whether anybody else is watching them. And then there are guys like Joe in the invite, who is asked by Peanut, the sexy and sexual character played by Penelope Cruz, to dance for her. Sitting in the theater watching Joe struggle to dance in a way that was free and uninhibited took me back to my younger days, dancing in clubs, with and without female partners. It made me think, why do men struggle so much with something that seemingly comes to women a lot easier? That was supposed to be the subject of the essay I was going to publish today. And then I made the mistake of actually thinking about it. The more I researched men and dancing, the more I realized that I wasn't really writing about dancing. I was writing about men's relationships with their bodies. And that has led me to the topic of embodiment, which could be the most difficult subject I've tried to write about since I started Mindful Masculinity 2+ years ago. It's hard because I'm still trying to understand the damn thing myself. Embodiment, at its simplest, asks us to think about what it means to actually live in our bodies, rather than constantly observing them, controlling them, judging them, using them to accomplish something. And once I started thinking about all of that, I started seeing it everywhere. I thought about my own life and how, being a young teenager, I secretly loved Fred Astaire movies, but was terrified that my friends would find out. I thought about being in my 20s and standing at the edge of dance floors, sucking down a couple of beers, too scared to join with the women dancing 10 feet away from me. And I thought about playing a song by Bruce Springsteen behind my closed bedroom door at night, and how that song and a music video taught me lessons that liberated my body and mind. Except, even then, I wasn't completely free, and I'm not sure I am even now. I'm still watching myself. Does this look masculine? Am I moving my hips too much? Is that graceful? Do I look ridiculous? And that's where this gets really interesting for you and me. Because how much of men's lives do we spend doing this? Not necessarily dancing, but monitoring our bodies. How we stand, how we walk, how we touch another man, how we express affection, how much space we take up. Whether we look strong, whether we look weak, whether something we're doing looks feminine or gay. And what does all of that monitoring cost us? That's the series I think I'm trying to write. And apparently I need a little more time. So here's what I'm going to do. It's something I don't normally do. I'm taking the next 2 Sundays off from publishing a long essay so I can reread the research I've been pulling from the internet, think about it a little more clearly, probably confuse myself several more times, and figure out how to make this subject engaging rather than just useful or intellectually interesting. Because this is not an easy subject. And I think it's especially important for men and women to understand. I think there are a lot of assumptions we make about men and how they live in their bodies that we really need to talk about, because the ramifications are so much bigger than dancing. I will be here in between. I have a podcast conversation with an amazing young man from the Gambia. This fella who I met a couple of months ago, and we finally had a chance to record our interview. It's almost ready to be published, and I'm really excited for you to hear his amazing story. In a lot of ways, Adama's very young life embodies what I'm trying to write about. And then we'll come back in September to a deeper dive into embodiment. We're going to start with men and dancing. But I have a feeling we're going to end up talking about a hell of a lot more. Because maybe one of the strangest things about learning how to be a man is how much time we spend living like Joe, existing in a body we barely understand. I'll see you soon. Enjoy the rest of your summer.